Well, we're talking about it, right, Renee? Decision day. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. And like, I think this is important for the league marketing wise, right? Because like fans love this, right? They love the drama. Like, I know men like to say like, yeah, we don't like reality TV, but yes, the reason why we like sports is because we like the drama, we like the parody. All right. So decision day absolutely brings that. So obviously, like, look, guys, we know what we need to do. Okay. Obviously, we need to win and we need some help as well. But we're gonna go through some of the big the big results that we do need for this upcoming Saturday. So obviously, like we talked about, for us to make the playoffs, the Union need to win, and then they need some help. They need both Montreal and DC United to lose, and obviously we need to take care of business with FC Cincinnati. Speaking of Montreal, they'll be playing against NYCFC. All right, so Montreal, who are ninth place right now, if they win or draw, it will guarantee them a wild card spot. They could even qualify with the defeat depending on how we play, and Atlanta as well plays too. DC United, they'll be in action at home against Charlotte FC, who are looking for better seating. And I should say the same about NYCFC. They're looking for some better seating. DC are in 8th place in the East, and if they win or draw, that guarantees them a wild card spot. They could easily even qualify with defeat depending on how we or Atlanta finishes off. And also to keep in mind, Christian Benteke can also lock up the Golden Boots. He's had a great year for DC United. He enters the league, he enters this final match week with leading the league with 23 goals. It's been an impressive run for Christian Benteke this year, but I don't know, Renee. I don't feel too confident because you need both DC United and Montreal to kind of lose. And like, yeah, I get it. Montreal's playing NYCFC. DC's playing Charlotte. We don't know what their mindsets are. I know, and we saw we saw a lot of these teams recently, but NYCFC not too long ago, we saw them. They're not the hottest right now. Charlotte FC is always going to be tough because you know them, defense, and that you can always run into some issues there. Where's your confidence level at right now? Because I do not feel too confident just based off these other matches.
Yeah, I wish that of these 4 teams, at least 2 of them don't die over there, JP. I wish that at least have to go over Rite Aid to get you some medicine. I wish that at least 2 of these teams were playing each other because that would make it even more thrilling. It is unfortunate knowing that, as you were just ironing out the details, when you have DC United and Montreal already in the driver's seat with points sitting at 40 compared to the Union and Atlanta United with 37 apiece, because that means not only do you have to win, but you need help. The reality is there is the potential that all 4 of these teams could finish this weekend with 40 points on the season. The Union could win, Atlanta United could win, DC United, Montreal could lose. So there are so many things that could happen. And if, it does come down to it, goal differential is a tiebreaker. The Union actually had the advantage in terms of goal differential, and that's a positive. But it all comes down to the wire. I mean, ultimately, as you talk about, you need some help. And the most difficult part about all of this is the Union are facing Cincinnati. You look at who everybody has to play. The Union actually have the toughest draw of the 4, by no surprise, in a really good Cincinnati team. So that makes it even more difficult that you have to win. You have to protect, as much as you can, keeping in mind goal differential. And then also knowing that the other 2 in Montreal and DC United essentially just have to tie or win. And one of them should be in, so it's just a lot of things that you have to keep an eye on for that 4-way tie in the East. And to your point also, it's great for the league, though, knowing that you have teams that every year on decision day are in the hunt. There are some teams even still, as you mentioned, jockeying for a higher spot in terms of seeding. So that is also something when you look at like Orlando City, NYCFC, you've got teams that are right there around the same amount of points, 50 points, 52 points. They're right there neck and neck. So there are even some others that are in, but now you're competing for, what your playoff seeding is going to be. So knowing that decision day does always bring us some drama, by optimism, I've got none. I just am optimistically sure we're going to get chaos, we're going to get excitement, and we're going to get down to the wire, like number crunching, score watching. So I just hope the Union make things interesting. If you're regardless of what the result happens, if they're going to win. But if they're not, please don't let this be a situation where you're giving up early goals and it's like over early. Please at least make it like a nice, close 1-goal game down to the wire where you're like on the edge of your seat wondering what's going to happen. So I am excited for this. I also feel like this could be like the end of a major era for the Union, depending on how the next week plays out, which is kind of crazy to think about. Exactly. But I'm excited for whatever happens.
You sounded like the meme just there when we were talking about the drama when I want problems. I want drama. I love it. I want
all the drama.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, like Cincinnati is playing for some stuff. So one of the things, and obviously we'll dive deeper in just a minute here, but they're on a 4-game winless streak. And as we all know, in any sport, let alone this sport, you need to go in the playoffs hot. Like, you don't want to go in the playoffs cold. You don't wind up like the Phillies, right? You'll be eliminated right away. And so like they're looking to just kind of break that streak, and also too with a win, they will qualify for CONCACAF Champions Cup spot. So as we all know, that's very important there. So Cincinnati is definitely going to be playing for something. Oh, and by the way, Pat Noonan, the teacher, Pat Noonan, the student, Jim Curtin, the teacher. There's always going to be that kind of dynamic with those two going forward. They love each other, obviously, but they're extremely competitive, and I'm sure they're going to want to show out. So it is definitely going to be pretty tough, to say the least. So
also, JP, to add on to that, in addition to Cincy on a losing skid, you also look at the reality. We know what happened last time these two played in August, and the Leagues Cup 4-2 win that the Union had over Cincinnati. You think they forgot that? You think they are like, this is a team that for Pat Noonan and his squad, they're not happy with how they have been struggling to put together 90-minute games. They're dropping results. The momentum's not there going into the postseason. They know they're in, but they know that they're not ready going in. They know that they're not playing good soccer, and you get to go up against a Union team who you faced obviously they've played each other a lot, but also a team that knocked you out of Leagues Cup, that put up 4 goals on you, So I do think they're going to come with that extra hunger, because even we were a bit surprised by that win, to be honest. I think that was a major moment for the Union in that stretch, if you think back, that made us encouraged that they were kind of turning a corner. But the tables have turned, and they're right back to where they were before, where there's giving us some frustrations, to say the least. So, yeah, I definitely am a little bit nervous, a little bit excited.
We all silly like the mayor.